Hello and welcome to this Master Gardener presentation. Today we're going to take a short walk through the Discovery Gardens. We're going to show you a little bit of what we've got and hope that you decide to pique your interest and that you're going to come on out yourself and take a longer walk. We are located out Highway 70N. You know where the fairgrounds is in town. All you have to do is pass that road where it goes into the fairgrounds and keep on going for 6 miles. And then you're going to come out to a sign that says Plateau Research and Education Center. That's where you turn in. Come on back here until you see the sign. It'll look just like this. You know you're in the right place. I won't be here though. But we are the Plateau Ag Research Center. We used to be called the Experiment Station, so people who have lived around here for a while know us that way. And the tomato sign. Of course, everybody sees that tomato sign in the winter time when you don't expect to see tomatoes. That's where we are. We invite you to come on out anytime during daylight hours all year round. We have wonderful gardens here. Over here, well now we're right in front of the building of the Ag Research, but over here is one of our gardens. This is all roses over here. We have quite a few rose gardens. We just love them. Most of them have got tags on the roses so you can tell what it is you're looking at. So you can come on out and see a beautiful rose bush and say, hey, that's perfect. I want it in my yard. Write it down so you know what to get from your nursery. You might come out and see a rose bush that's just full of bugs and say, hey, I don't want that in my yard. And so you can write that in the no column. But this is just one of our rose gardens. We have quite a few that have different colors. We were just standing in front of the Ag Research sign. That's the name of the entire facility, but now we're going to center on one part of it. We're going to talk about our Plateau Discovery Gardens. This is a joint effort by 3 parts of the University of Tennessee. It's the Master Gardeners are instrumental in these, the UT Ag Research, which of course is what we just talked about, and UT Extension is very active in this. So this is a venture between all of us, and we're just going to take a short walk through the gardens. Hopefully you're going to take a longer walk later on. One of our trials here in the gardens is the redbud trial. Whoever knew there was more than 2 kinds of redbuds in this world, and we have 16 varieties out here. They have the names on the tags, so you can come on out and again look at what you like and note what you don't like. So we have a redbud trial. Another trial that we have here in our gardens is the hydrangeas. The hydrangeas are wonderful, but we all know hydrangeas grow in partial shade, right? These are growing in the full sun, so that's a part of the trial. You can take a look at them, jot down the ones that are perfect. Some of them are going to have black spot and stuff on them and you wouldn't like them, but that's why you come out here. It's all about education. Every year the University of Tennessee, through the Extension program, puts on a series of classes. We invite local homeowners, local people to come to these classes. They just pay for their materials, and they have a session of like 16 classes. At the end of that time, when they're supposed to have all this horticultural knowledge up here, they pick out a plot out here in the Discovery Gardens, and they're going to make up a theme. They'll decide what it is they want to plant out here. Our first garden, you can't see, it's back there, but when you come out here, it's easy to see. It's got wonderful shrubs, some beautiful crepe myrtles that grow well here on the plateau. That was in 2005. Well, the 2006 class said, well, we're going to do perennials. So we're standing in front of the archway to the 2006 class's project. This is all perennials that grow well here on the plateau. And I see we have some Master Gardeners out here working today. We all like to actually get down and get dirty and get those plants in, so they're just finishing up a project here. Hey Mary, want to wave at the cameras? Mary is our new intern. This is a brand new program that we've started here in Cumberland County, and we ask Mary to come on out between her classes at UT and be an intern, and we help to pay her living expenses, and Ag Research paid the rest of it. So that's part of our education program. Now we need to go over here to the butterfly garden. I want to show you something else that we have here. By the way, there's a bulb garden over here. We have all kinds of gardens. You'll love it out here. New this year is our butterfly garden. We even have a butterfly house. Did you ever see one of those? I think most of the slots are on the other side. We have a little butterfly feeding station. All kinds of things you can learn out here. And we have a NOAA weather station. This station behind us is 100 years old and is still being actively used. But this one is recorded daily by hand. We have another one out there in the pasture with the cows, and that one is automated. That one's a newer one, but 100 years old and still operating. Probably the most frequently asked question at the University Extension office is, what kind of grass do I plant here on the plateau? They want to know what turf grass they should have in their backyard, their front yard. And now Greg, our agent, says, well, go on out to the Discovery Gardens and see for yourself. So one year that class decided they would put in 5 turf grass plots. And so that's what we have here. They are labeled. You can come out in any season and see in the spring or in the fall or in the heat of the summer what kind of grass you want to put in your garden. Behind you is another project that was one of the classes that was from last year's class. They said, hey, we want to do a landscaping thing. We get a bunch of people together, and what they decided was to make a phony house, the pseudo house back here, and instead of home on the range, it's home on the plateau. And they designed landscaping for in front of that house and around the mailbox and around the fence posts and the back of the house. So come on out and take a look at what they selected as the best plants for the plateau. Further back we have a raised bed, but we're not going to talk about that right now because later on there's going to be another program that will talk about it. Dance, dance. This is one of our signposts that the Master Gardeners came up with for the Fall Gardeners Festival. I got to tell you about that. But we also have bird houses all through the gardens. We've got 10 or 12 bird houses out here. We have an assortment of birds, so even if you're not into horticulture, you can come on out and identify birds. I think they're all nesting right now. Over here is our outdoor classroom. It's not quite complete yet because we do have a very large concrete table, which is also very heavy, so it hasn't been moved in yet. But this will seat about 50 people. We have classes on the gardens about once a month. The next one coming up, I think, is on wildflowers. And if you want to bring your group out here, if you have a school group or a garden group of any kind, and you want to be out here in nature, you can come and use the garden classroom. It's free. Everything out here is free, except you do need to call the office, the extension office, or the ag research office, and be sure that it is free on the day that you want to come out. Beyond there is outside of the Discovery Gardens. So where we've been is all in the Discovery Gardens. Out there is more of the ag research farm, and they have a lot of trials going on. I see a redbud trial right there. Most of the dogwood trial right there. Most of the dogwoods have been taken out. Further over, you're going to see more rose trials. So if you want to see how climbing roses respond, or various shrub roses, that's the place to go. I'd like to conclude our tour today by showing you the grasses. We have wonderful ornamental grasses. It's a switchgrass trial, but really there's a lot of different ornamental grasses here. This again is part of one of our redbud trials. And oh, the thing about coming out in the daytime, you can come out without calling ahead. It's just if you want to use the classroom, you need to call ahead, but just come on out during any daylight hours all year round. Walk through the gardens, enjoy yourself, listen to the birds. And stay tuned to this station. We're going to have more Master Gardener presentations in the future. And with that, I'm Carol Burdett signing off.